Right, we're back into our sight singing, so I hope you have your books with you. We are on page 12, exercise 16 today, and this is looking at the octave gap between low do and high do, just like we were singing in our vocal warm-up. So we started looking at that a little bit on the page before at the end of last week's rehearsal. And I just want you to take note of which note is which now that we're looking at the music. So in part one, it starts on low do, and the very second note is high do. So if the note is a D and it sounds like this, do. So let's see if you can figure out in your head which is the high do. It might help to sing up through the arpeggio. Do, mi, so, do. Okay, did you get it? So we're singing do, do, etc. Okay, so let's have a go through exercise 16 part 1. I want you to sight sing it. I'll give you a metronome beat. We're just counting in minims and crotchets, so the beat is a crotchet in this piece. We don't have to worry about any quavers, we don't have to worry about any rests, we don't have to worry about any time signature changes, so it is actually quite straightforward, but we're just going to be thinking about that gap or that interval between low do and high do. Now there obviously are the other notes that we know, mi and so are there as well. So just to point it out for you, in part 1, so is found at the very end of the first line, okay, above the word to. Okay, so do, mi, so. So there's so. So every time you see that note, we're singing so. And then mi doesn't actually appear in the first part. So we don't have to worry about that at all. It's mi as in part 2 and 3, okay? But we're just thinking about low do, high do, and so for part 1, okay? Shall we have a go? Let me get the metronome on for you. Right, are you ready? There's your do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, let's sing it together. There's your do. 3, 4. Do, 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 so. Do, 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 so. Do, do. Okay, how was that? Let's have a go at part 2. Right, so part 2, we have a few other notes to think about. And if you look at in the last bar of the first line, that's where mi appears. So mi is an F sharp. And so if we're singing do, mi, okay? So we've sung so already, and we've sung the high do. So do, mi, so, do. We've got all of those notes in part 2. So let's have a go. Sight singing first, and then we'll sing together. There's your do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do, do. Okay, let's try it together. There's your do, and do, 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 mi, 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 so, so, mi, so, do, 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 do. How did you do? Okay, let's look at the last part. Now, as you can see, this is written in the bass clef. So actually, I'm just going to ask the guys to sing this part. I think it's going to be potentially too low for the tenors to sing, so you're going to have to just do your best on part 2, tenors. Okay, so, but men, you starting on D, which is Do, and then you've got me at the end of the 3rd bar as well, same as part 2. So in fact, it's exactly the same as part 2, just an octave lower. And then if you look very carefully, you will see, in fact, that what you're singing is following part 2, but an octave below. Okay, so you probably have had a go at this already in your own range. But let's just do it one more time so that you're used to reading the notes, which are an octave down from what you were singing in part 2. Okay, let's have a go, guys. I'm obviously going to sing an octave above you. You're down there. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, let's do it together. Do, 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 do. Me, 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 so, me, so, do, 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 do. Okay, right, so what we're going to do is what we would normally do, but this time part 2 and 3 are I'm going to consider one voice, okay? Because basically it's essentially the same tune, just you're either singing from the bass clef or you're singing from the treble clef, but either way, the tune is the same, okay? So we'll start with everybody singing part 1, and I'll sing part 2 to harmonize with you, and then we'll swap over and you'll either sing part 2 or 3 depending on your voice, and I'll sing part 1. Okay, so let's have a go at that. There's your do. 1, 2, 3, go. Do, 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 do. Me, 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 so, me, so, do, 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 do. Swap over. 1, 2, 3, go. Do, 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 so, do, 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 so, do, do. Good, well done. Right, we'll leave that there. So we're going to move on to our song now. So if you can make sure you have your music for Why We Sing next.